Let me ask you something. Do you know how computers actually think? I mean, we use them in our every single day to code, to play games, or even watch videos. But have you ever wondered what happens inside the computer when you actually click the run button? Today, we are going to break it down for you. How computers understand your code and how programming is run, and importantly, what programming really means. So, let's jump into my window screen and I will show you everything step by step. In this video, we are gonna mostly talk about introduction to programming. Mainly, in later videos, we are gonna focus on Java programming language. So this course is based on Java. Okay, first of all, well, we should understand what computers actually means. In our from grade small class also, we have also understand that what is computer means the thing which takes input, processes it, and give the meaningful output to the user. So basically, in basic understanding, it is true, and it mainly works on 0 and 1. Means it works on binary code and machine code. So in physical meaning, 0 and 1 means high voltage and low voltage. It basically means on status or off status. So if output is 1, then it means high voltage, or if output is 0, it means low voltage. And about computer files, everything from videos to audio, photo, text, or some executable file, or even the codes we will be writing in our Java programming or any programming, everything is a computer file. It means it is a combination of all 0 and 1. It all is converted into binary code or machine code. Like if you create any program, it gets converted into source code, which is this kind of machine code. So computer actually understand this machine code, not the programming we write. Let's talk about the execution of the program. How program is actually executed in the computer. Like if you are writing the code in high level language, like Java is a high level language. If we write the code in high level language, then it gets converted into machine language, machine code, or binary code through the help of compilation or interpretation. We'll talk about this in, soon. So compilation and interpretation basically means conversion of high level language, the code we are writing, into the machine code like 0 and 1, and then computer actually process it through the help of memory unit, control unit, and ALU, arithmetic logic unit. So AMU is basically the set of registers, means it basically stores the files, programs, everything we are writing, and CU means control unit, and it basically controls the flow of data from EMU to RAM or hard drive or something like this. And ALU basically is responsible for all the operations we are performing. Like if it can be any kind of arithmetical operation or any kind of logical operation. Okay, to be a programmer, we need to understand this kind of key terminologies in programming world. First of all, what is program? Program is basically a set of instructions that actually solve a real life problems or a specific problem. And software basically is a group of programs that actually work together and to solve the specific problem. And programming is the process of developing the programs. And programmer is the who, like you, the person who write the programs or who develops the program. So these are the basic key terminologies we need to understand to be a programmer. Okay, I already told you about high level language. So basically what high level language and level language means. So if you go with low level language means machine code or assembly code. They are the code which actually the machine understand. So this is device dependent, means if you write in this PC, it won't run in another computer, and this it is fast executable because we are writing in 0 and 1 or some mnemonics. Like if you talk about assembly language, we use some mnemonics like ADD to add instead of writing some zeros and 1. In machine code, it is all 0 and 1. So it is difficult to read and write because we are writing the codes in 0 and 1, not like in Java we are using English language, but in low level language like machine code and assembly code we are mostly writing in the form of 0 and 1. So if you talk about high level language like C++, Python, Java, JavaScript, they are all high level language. We mostly use high level language. So they are more readable because you mostly use English words or which are readable and portable across hardwares. If you talk about Java, it is portable because if you write the code in one computer, it will run in every computer. We will talk about it in another video. It is cause of JVM, JRE, and there are something. So we'll talk about this later. And mostly you should understand that high level language are English based languages, and they are portable and more readable and requires interpreter or compiler. Basically it requires interpreter or compiler in order to convert the programs we have written into the machine code which computers actually understand. So basically our main motive is what? To make the computers to give the instruction to the computer. So if you write in English language, we will use compiler or interpreter to convert our code into machine code or low level language, means binary from 0 and 1. Okay, if you compare the types of language, low level language is device dependent, means if you write the code in one computer, it won't run in another computer, but high level language can run in another computer. And low level language have quick execution time because they are already written in 0 and 1, so we don't need any interpretation or compiler. So it is time consuming to read and write for the programmers like us, because most of the code is 0 and 1, harder to debug and maintain because of the same reason. But in case of high level language, it is English language and human readable language, easier to learn, write or debug, portable across different hardware. Like Java, if you write the code in this PC and with the help of JVM, we can also we can run the computer code in another PC also, but it requires compilation or interpretation, as we have mentioned. So this is the this is for today, and in another video we are going to discuss about Java as a programming language, because Java is OOP language, object oriented programming language, developed by James Gosling. So we'll because it is mostly popular because of this property: write once, run anywhere, because of Java virtual machine, which I've already told you about. It is because of JVM. It can if you write once, it will run anywhere. So this was for this video. Thank you and have a nice day.